On the air. Tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup here on a Monday night between the Washington Commanders and the Los Angeles Rams. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Powell. And Thomas has it. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 15 yards the pickup. First down, Washington.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. This defense for the Rams, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Powell throwing on 3rd down here. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 24, Stafford forced out to his left. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 25 yards there on the catch and run. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. And the Rams at 6 and 2 to start play. They come in playing really well on both sides of the ball. They've won 6 of their last 8, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards to play. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his third completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And the top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope.
And he's got it. That's Cup for a Ram touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Rams put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. An extra point by Gain is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes it's just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Powell's throw taken in by Samuel. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 15 yards the pickup. 1st down, Washington.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays, because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling, and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes, because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Escaping the pressure right. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play to one of their first.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Leonard Floyd able to record his 5th sack of the season. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. This one from 48 yards away. fly, able to put this one through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw is Stafford. That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end. So 8 yards on the completion there. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2, here's Howell. Throw right side complete to Dotson. So nothing doing there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're
trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Chris Barnes. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get a second one. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Howell now to throw it. incomplete. It's Dotson. Oh, eluding the tackle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Howell to throw on 2nd down. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Aaron Donald. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Under pressure, they got him again. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down. Sly able to put this one through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Stafford. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
Here's Stafford. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the 1st.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. Got a man. It's Higbee, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there at 22. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first. Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Stafford going to give this to Akers. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They'll run here with Akers. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's Stafford. Touchdown! Allen Robinson from 6 yards away as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is up to 8. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Commanders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Play action. It's Howell. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Oh, Howell loses it. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, 5, and they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. Leonard Floyd bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight. One last shot before the break. Howell steps away to his, and he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On first down at Stafford. And that is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Stafford. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Chase Young. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. And Gay knocks this one through. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still a very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg, and boom, over the crossbar.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Faking the handoff. Howell. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. So they will wave off the flag and let the completion stand.
Really great job by the receiver fighting through all the contact and still coming down with the football. All that great work in practice being put into the game.
Gibson only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Powell in the QB sneak, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. His 4th rushing touchdown on the year, number 6 overall. And the Commanders get a bit closer. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. On first down, it puts it on the carpet, it's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. From the 31, Stafford. That's out to the flat for Akers. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, They almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Dancing to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead is down to a field goal. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Throwing is Stafford. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, they're staring up at a 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Slings this deep from McLaurin. This is caught inside the 15. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
Powell out of the shotgun. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And they'll rally and stop him short of the 1st down at about the 6. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. Sly able to put this one through, and that draws them level. It's 23-23. It's another field goal, his 3rd of the game. Maybe not exactly what you're looking for, but does bring them level now.
I like how you put that in there that brings them level, right? Because if you're talking about kicking, bringing that soccer analogy in, I love that one. I love that one a lot. You don't want to go for it on 4th down and come away with nothing, right? Go ahead and kick the ball. Make sure you get some points. Even if it's a safe call, I think it's the right call.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
2 yards, good enough for a first. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Being chased out left, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford. This one to the left to Higbee. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. A give up the middle to Akers. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down, because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
From just shy of midfield, Stafford. That's into the hands of Akers, complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
On first down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 35-yard line. From the corner, it was Kendall Fuller with a sack. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. Now Stafford. Oh, no, he lost the football. 2nd time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
At their own 20-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 2nd and 2, Powell. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. First down, Howell to throw. Thomas brings it in. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Howell. Buying time to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. On 3rd down, here's Gibson. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. A bit of extra pressure now for this one on Joey Sly. This to break our 4th quarter tie. Sly able to put this one through. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ballgame. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Stafford now to throw. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. To throw is Stafford. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Stafford now to throw. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Now Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Now it's Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Stafford. It's tipped, but it doesn't matter. He still catches it. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 33 yards that time. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. For the lead, here's 3rd and goal. They'll look to run with Akers. Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. They still got 2 timeouts. Got to start using them, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely have to. You save them for this situation, but you have to use them.
Now there's the timeout, signaled for with 2 seconds to go. And the field goal unit likely trying to send this one to overtime. And his kick is right there. It's good, and we are all time at 26. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I cannot imagine how these players and coaches feel, Charles. My palms sweating up here in the booth now as we go to the 3rd drive of overtime. And as we know, from here on out, any points win this football game.
I'll throw you a towel as well, partner. I got one for myself, but let's face it, our nerves, our pressure, nothing compared to what's going on that field. Both of the field goal kickers active here early. Can one of them become the hero and end this thing?
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now a first throw here in overtime. This pass hauled in by Dotson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 17 yards that time and a Washington first. And that last throw right there putting him already over 3,000 passing yards now for the campaign.
And given where we are in the season, Brandon, you have to think to yourself, if he stays healthy, I think 4,000's a given. I think 5,000 is not out of the question if he stays hot.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Back-to-back completions, and that puts them in enemy territory.
And we're always looking for that elusive term, momentum, aren't we? And I think they're building it with the back-to-back completions Now they feel like they can either take a shot or continue to build it the way that they're doing now. Safe throws, get it to their playmakers, and see what happens.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Powell from the gun. And Thomas has it. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 19. That one goes for 24 yards. A good start for him under center here in overtime. Now 3 of 3.
And this is where you have to know who you have playing quarterback. You've got a confident thrower right now. Someone who's taking care of the ball, but not being timid as well, and is moving the team downfield. That opens up your...
And he is in for the score.